Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the penultimate round of Challenger League Season 12. We are here at the Circuit de la Sarthe at the Bugatti circuit today with a monumental task for our title at the moment. So we've got ourselves one driver who can win it all today in the space of the two races here at this famous circuit. It is the shorter Bugatti layout, but it is still the lovely Circuit de la Sarthe all the same, going through the garage vert now and onto the long back straight is ST53. So we're looking at a lot of long stints, hopefully, and a lot of quick laps. Flicks putting it on already with a 30.32. That will definitely be a solid time, regardless of what round he's driving, whether it be CL, JL, or UL, which is coming later today, of course. Matimar in P2, but the man we want to focus on, Figueira, in P3. Just a tenth and a half away from that current provisional pole time. Rusky in 4th, and it's Himpo, Rams 1, and X6 as the top 8 as it stands. Himpo with an improvement. Crunk moves up to the top 4. That is a solid time there from the Canadian driver, but it is the VEO of Himpo in P1 with Flicks in 2nd now. Matty in 3rd. Big pressure on Guzman. He needs to keep his title hopes still alive. He has to outscore Figo to keep that title challenge up. He's in 15th at the moment. Flicks improves. Himpo ties him. And it looks like the top 4 will feature no one in the title fight. That's quite exciting there. Flicks and Himpo tying for pole position there with 30.2 for both drivers. Matimar will take P3 alongside Rams in 4th. Mr. Crunk with an excellent qualifying session, P5 for him, ahead of our championship leader Figueira in P6, who was actually tied with 1 in that Nordic Blizzard car. Girouni finishes in 8th. There's actually a 3-way tie between the bottom of the top 10 here, Girouni, Gorlomi, and Rusky. So one LBR driver and both VPTs tied on a 30.52. So we'll have to see what gets designated as pole position, because we do get that swapped around for the sprint race. X6 will start in P11 for both races. Then it's Bunyot's James ahead of his teammate Nakes. Guzman with a disastrous qualifying session for his chance at the title. P14 for him. Urist in 15th, tying actually with Guzman. Game on Goose in 16th, driving our sole independent driver today. Bubbles in 17th, and it's ST53 and Axperial rounding the grid up. So, with 19 drivers to line up for our sprint, what could come about that? Again, the top 10 will be flipped around, so it'll be two VPTs and a Lusso Botanica racing car as the front 3. Have to see how that plays out in just a moment time. We're just going to cut to that right now. And the rain is pouring down here at the Sarthe. Girouni will lead us away as the lights come out and we are away for 12 laps here in the wet. The sprint race is underway and Girouni gets us away. Gorlomi fighting with Figo. It's 1 and Figo off at the Dunlop chicane. Rams makes a big dive and he's completely crossed out Rusky there. He's dropped off to the bottom 4. Gorlomi is following with Jeru there at the top 2. Crunk moves into 3rd place. It's Matimar in 4th. Blixen 1 fighting there for 5th. It's no, 1 must have fallen away back. What has happened to him? He's all the way back at the tail end of the grid. Not really sure what happened to him. We didn't really catch exactly what happened. Rusky is back into the top 8 after that disastrous opening lap. But it is Girouni, Gorlomi, Matimar, our top 3. Flicks, Bunny, it's James Urist. Massive lag rocket into the Dunlop chicane. And that's surely going to ruin their chances of any higher positions or maybe even a points finish here. Nakes and ST finding some trouble on the second of those corners. But let's go to the front now. It's Girouni holding the lead. Matimar trying to challenge here. Gorlomi and Crunk just sitting back watching this happen. They don't want to lose too much speed from this opening group. We see how decisive these opening laps can be at the front. So we just enter that long turn at La Chapelle into Le Musée in turn 5. Golormi looks to have made it just through on Matimar. Girouni still leading away. Matimar onto the inside at Garage Vert, but it leads Mr. Kronk away with the better exit into P2. Oh, and this, oh dear lord, Golormi and Matimar with the massive shove there. They've dropped back to P7 and 8 respectively, and it's Girouni running away with this race, and Kronk in P2 with Figo and Himpo chasing for that final position on the podium at the moment. Bubbles also on that slipstream for 5th. It's Rams in 6th, Matti and Golormi then 7th and 8th. Guzman now in P9. Behind him is X6 and Goose fighting for that final spot on the top 10. Rusky and Urist in 11th and 12th. 12th and 13th. There, Bunyowitz James finding some trouble, and Nakes and Flicks will get through on him, devoting him to 16th place. Then it's ST1 and Experial rounding us out, but it is still Girouni, sorry, leading us away, and he's got a fairly big gap on Kronk. It's about a second and a half at this point. Kronk hasn't been too slow, all things considered, through the first half of this race, but he is getting slowly caught up on Bubbles with a mistake there. It allows Himpo to hold on to P3 for now. Figo still challenging the VEO driver as we speak. He's trying to look around the outside as we head to the turns at 7 and 8. They're going side by side into 9. Kronk taking it very wide there, trying not to get into too much trouble here. That ping will definitely be in that situation. Figo now going alongside with Kronk. It's a battle for P2 now, and it looks like they're going alongside. Figo not braking just in time, maybe gotten punted a little on his screen, but Kronk is slowly starting to find the grip a little bit too hard for him at the moment. He's holding on to P3 as we speak, though, with Figo following alongside. He'll have to love that slipstream, though, that Himpo is giving him now, as the Finn is now into P2. Kronk with a mistake. Figo hits into his back. This might be a chance for Himpo to run away with this second position, because Girouni is definitely running away with the lead of the race entering lap 7. Still Kronk. Figo trying to go on the inside now to the Dunlop chicane. Still tight here. Kronk showing him no space here. Figo makes an excellent dive onto the inside, and it looks like Kronk might have been copperized a little bit on his screen, but he is back into P4, and right behind him is an angry pole here. Matimar finally back to challenge Kronk, this time for 4th and 5th. Matimar on the inside, Kronk giving the space. He might have given too much space there, and he's back into P8 with that mistake. Golormi, Rams, Bubbles all chasing him down. Urist in 9th now, ahead of Rusky. Guzman in P11. Might not be enough for his title fight here. Goose in 12th, and it's Bunyowitz James. Nakes now in 14th, with X61, Flicks, XT53 and Xperial still going through. It is Girouni leading us away with a gap of about 2.5 seconds as he enters turn 9. Himpo now still chasing, though, in P2. Then it's Figueroa in 3rd with Matimar. Golormi with a bit of a problem. That's going to be a bit of a Constantino effect for Rams and Bubbles and Kronk there. But Rams now has not had too much of a problem getting through on Golormi, and he is now through into P5. Oh, it's been a very interesting race. A lot of contested positions here. A lot of drivers finding the grip just a bit too tough at the moment. Bubbles and Kronk battling it away. Both drivers giving themselves a lot of space, and Kronk with the outside line will take the position there. Good driving from the two. As Golormi is still holding on to that position in 6th. It is Rams in front of him, then Matimar. The top 3 still Girouni, Himpo, Figo. Figo actually chasing down Himpo as we speak. He's trying to make a move into turn 3. He's gotten through on the inside. Himpo will have the better run into turn 4, though. And he will hold on to the position as we speak. Sorry, turn 5 into turn 6. It's still Himpo in P2 with about 2 laps and a half to go. Figo with the better speed with the... Oh my god, he tries to make a move, and they've both found the grass. Figo looks to be through. I'm not sure if that's going to be looked at the stewards later, because that was a bit of a risky overtake there, but Figo is through into P2 with Himpo in 3rd, Matti in 4th, Rams in P5, Golormi with Bubbles in 6th and 7th, and it's Kronk in 8th, Guzman and Urist rounding out the top 10. It is Girouni absolutely running away with this race now. He has gotten away very well, and he's had the pace to hold on to the position. He's now 4 seconds ahead of Figueroa, as he's now getting challenged by Himpo for P2 with just a lap to go now. Figo gets a better line than Himpo, maybe compromised a bit too much by Figo's braking there. Himpo will have to hold on to P3 now. He might be a bit too far away to challenge Figueroa for that position. Matimar and Rams, though, challenging each other for P4. The second drivers of both these teams on the field as it stands. Matimar still having the grip to hold on to that position. Gorlomi is still in P6, but it is Jaruni back on the top of the podium today. He wins a sprint at the Bugatti circuit. It's going to be Figo and Himpo lining up second and third. Then it's Matty ahead of Rams. Gorlomi will hold on to P6. What was that shove there? I think Kronk just clipped 7th. Guzman and Bubbles, there must have been a collision between Kronk and Guzman at the end there, but it is ending with Bubbles 9th, Goose in P10, then Urist in 11th. Bunyo, then Rusky, then Nakes, X6, Flix 1. ST53 will just hold on to 18th ahead of Xperial, and that is your sprint race. At the Circuit de la Save, Jaruni will take it over Figo and Himpo, a gap of 3.84 seconds separating first and second, with Figo also taking that point for the fastest lap. It leaves Guzman with a lot to do with one round to go, one race to go, sorry. If he can potentially gap Figo in the feature race, he can keep this title alive heading to the final round at the Circuit Ricardo Tormo, but that will require a lot to happen given his starting position heading into this feature race. Matimar starts in 4th. Matimar finishes in 4th, sorry, ahead of Rams. Gorlomi 6th. Guzman in 8th behind Kronk. I'm not sure if there was any incident there because they did seem to get a bit of contact on that last corner. Bubbles 9th, and then Goose rounding out the top 10 for the sprint. Urist, Bunyots, James, then Rusky, Nakes, X6, Flix 1, and then ST53 and Xperial. Pretty tight, all things considered. A lot of battles that were really not done until the very end there in the midfield. And yeah, we'll have to see if the feature race will bring us more of that tight fighting. And welcome back. 32 laps at the Bugatti circuit await us. It looks like everyone's split between the hards and softs, and we are underway. Himpo leads us away on the hard tyre. Rams will be the first one of the softs to come in. Kronk trying to make moves there on the soft tyre as well. He might be falling back at the chicane there, but it's smooth sailing for Himpo. 1 moving into P2 there with that move. Matty's been shoved off. Oh, it's pretty tight. There might be 5, almost 6 wide heading into turn 5 there, and it's going to be only completely beneficial for the top 2 at the moment. Figo and Matty holding on. Guzman now into P6. What a great start from him as he gets through. Goose and Rams also coming through the field. It's Flix and Matty now fighting for top 3, sorry. And it's Himpo and 1 away on those hard tyres. Seems to be the correct choice for those 2 as it stands. We're looking at potential 3 to 4 stop race for this one. Flix and Matimar just getting through on their own here. And it's Rams on the soft tyre. Figo just trying to chase Game Mongoose and Guzman, who needs to have a significant points lead on Figo if he wants to make any of this championship. But the 2 title contenders are off at the final corner. That is a massive collision there. Figo has been recovered by a bunch of the chasing pack, but Guzman has fallen down quite a bit. Figo getting that, that little bit of a lag rocket there. He's now in P8. Guzman is now in P13 on those soft tyres, so he'll have to make a stop sooner than his rival here. Oh, and it's absolute carnage in the mid-pack, but it is a pack of 4 cars on the hard tyre, followed by 3 cars in the medium. Goose is all the way out at the edge of turn 7. Oh dear. Urist getting in trouble with him as well. Just hitting into the back of the Canadian. Jaruni. It is all going in that mid-pack. Rusky with a bit of a slowdown. It's affecting Guzman. It's affecting ST53, who started pretty well at this race, all things considered. Running in 13th at the moment, side by side with Rusky into turn 5. Just gets a bad exit there. Might be challenged by Urus coming into it. Let's head to the top of the field though, because it is Himpo still leading the way from pole position. Matimar now in second. 1 and Flix trying to hold on to that slipstream as best they can. 1 challenging the pole here. He's found a bit of slowdown on the Dunlop chicane. That will let Flix through into third. Rams following them on the soft tyre. We'll have to see how long those tyres can go. Usually we've seen most drivers go between 6 to 8 laps on those tyres, and that would definitely look towards a 3 to 4 stop strategy going into this race. Xperial with an absolutely mammoth start now, still running in P10. Had a bit of a mistake there earlier, was running as high as P7. No one into the pits as of yet. Figo now in P11. Behind Guzman, Roski and ST running through the moment in the 13th and 14th. Actually, oh my goodness. ST and Goose getting a little bit of trouble there with the with the ping there. Roski with a mistake. He's lost about 4 positions in the space of a couple of corners. ST going to compromise Roski's exit there. Lets Chris Crunk through. And it's still quite tight between the top 5 now as Rams has caught on to this chasing pack. We'll see how long he can go on those soft tyres because Matimar and Himpo are making a right mess of this at the front of the pack. Flix is trying to make it through. Rams with a very ambitious dive there. I'm not sure what was really going to go on there, but Flix with a mistake there. It lets Rams into the top 3 now. It's VEO. Now 1 and 3 as Himpo is just edging Matimar to the lead though. Matimar at the inside in that corner will take the lead of the race now. Convincingly, as we just finish up with lap 7 here. Oh, it's still Rams in 3rd, 1 and 4th, and it's Flix. X6 now on the soft tyre in P7. Jaruni, X6 in P6. Jaruni in 7th, and it's Golormi, Guzman fighting away, both on the soft tyre. As we enter the pit window very, very soon. Someone is already in, and that is Nakes off his soft tyres. We'll have to see if he's going for another stint on the softs now. So he's going to get that jump on everyone. He's the only one to pit. We'll have to see if he can make an improvement now. He didn't have a great start to this proceedings. As Matimar and Himpo go through. It's 1 and Rams with a massive rocket there. Oh dear. I only caught the side of that, but it's 1 in for a very early pit stop. He's not happy with that at all. His teammate stacking along with him for both of them on the set of hards, the Nordic Blizzards. But it is now in as the timing sheet gets a little bit confused with the pitting as it stands. It is Matimar though, leading us off in P1, just ahead of Himpo. Both drivers still on the hard, still running, and going for a 10th lap now. Flix and Jaruni will inherit 3rd and 4th here, as Flix might have the better overspeed. He's just pipping. Jaruni still is in front. They're now side by side, heading into Dunlop Chicane. Turns 2 and 3, and Jaruni with the inside still holds on to 3rd place. Still challenged by Flix though, but it looks like the battle is settled as Flix tries to make a move. No, he's just going for the switchback there. Brake early. Exit with higher speed. They're still unable to do anything about that gap to Jaruni at the moment as we finish lap 10. Figueroa in 5th place, and it's Goose and Rams now, the first of the drivers who pit in P7 now, going for that undercut. And so is X61 having to switch off his strategy here as we see Urist and Ruski into the pits now. Ruski was the only one on the mediums, and he's ran that for 10 laps. Following these two, we've got Golormi now in P10, also on those hard tyres, making that stop early. Bunyowitz James will need to stop relatively soon. Guzman on that undercut as well. We'll see where he ends up. I believe someone is in. It is Himpo, who is coming out behind Figo, behind his teammate. Rams with the undercut, making it work. Goose still in, hasn't stopped off of his hard tyres yet, and will be hoping to take some slipstream before he heads into the pits himself. 1 and X6 behind them. The Canadian now in P7 and making a bit of mistakes here. Might compromise X6 on his way through. And we hope for not too much trouble as Juan will definitely not want to see another mistake entering the pit lane again. But Goose with a rocket. Juan's found more grass and Goose is staying on for another lap. Figo in, and the leaders are also in. Jaruni and Flix now on the soft tyre. And they are now in P6 and P5 here, these two. So they will be chasing down the guys in front who made that earlier stop. It is Rams now in the lead of the race, who was, again, one of those drivers on the softs to take, moving from the softs to the hards, sorry. It's Matimar, though, chasing side by side with him. It's quite the entertaining race here. And Matimar is still holding that lead against both VEO drivers here. Rams fighting a lot of grass there, not able to make the move. Matimar actually making a mistake on the exit. Flix makes a huge dive and he's let 3 cars into the gravel there, and all of a sudden, Jaruni takes the lead of the race. Wow, what a massive collision there, and Flix might have cost himself a chance at the win. with just one simple maneuver, though. He hasn't lost too much time, but he does have to deal with both Himpo and X6 on the hards now. Flix in P4, Matty in 5th, then it's Rams now, who's the biggest loser off of that massive incident there. Juan and Guzman, P7 and 8 for the Nordic Blizzards. Juan on that compromised strategy, still holding on to a good position here. Guzman still running in the points, just ahead of Gorlomi. And then Figueroa on the soft tire behind them, sitting in P10. At the moment, I don't think the gap between the two drivers will be big enough. And if Figo can just hold on to this position, and Guzman doesn't gain any more, he will win the championship at the end of this race. Though all eyes at the moment are at P1, and it's at Jaruni who makes a big error onto turn 4. Oh, wow. Onto turn 5, sorry, and Himpo into the lead of the race. Jaruni's softs are starting to die out just a little bit. He's only been on those tyres for about 3.5 laps now as Himpo gets through into the lead of the race. Flix now in P3 is slowly chasing him down. Himpo might sense Jaruni's tyres are a bit frail, a bit able to be challenged here. Though Himpo did go from the softs to the hards, so his hards aren't in a particularly great shape either. Flick's trying to get himself into this mix as well. He's just not able to get into it just yet. Matimar in P4, then it's X6. We'll have to pit first out of most of the drivers on the hards here. Figueroa in 6th place now, followed by Juan, followed by Guzman, Rams, and the Rika Auto driver on the soft tyres is just running away. And we'll have to see when he makes that stop here. Guzman, Rams, Gorlomi, bus behind them, P8 to P10 here. Bunny-Oats James now running 11th. Then it's Goose, Rusky, Bubbles, followed by Urist, Kronk, ST53, Axperio, and Nake's 2 seconds behind the pack, who has also gone for his second stop already. And I'm not sure he'll be able to make it to the end on the hard, so I'm not sure what he's going for strategy-wise, because this undercut doesn't seem to be working too well. Kronk also on a second stint already, so those two going for quite the large undercut compared to everyone else at the moment. It is still Jaruni in the lead. Flix has now taken P2, just ahead of Himpo, who'll be hoping to potentially go to lap 20 here and bring his hards into the window where he can go one more stint for the end. But I assume that everyone in this top 4 is actually going for the same strategy, pitting potentially on lap 20 to go the end of the race on the hards. If so, we could have a titanic 4-way fight for the race win come the end of it all. Flix trying to make a move down the inside. He just doesn't have the grip for it just yet. And it might be compromising the guys behind him too. Flix trying to make a move. He's helped the inside. He's actually affected Jaruni a little bit. He's actually affected himself more. And Matimar is now through into P2 with that excellent exit there. Flix driving quite dangerously here, but he's actually going to make an overtake into the pit lane there. It's a bit of a troubled pit entry there, but it's Flix and Jaruni in for the hard tyres. It's actually Matimar and Himpo who stay out on the hards, so maybe going for a different strategy altogether, maybe on the mediums to finish the race. X6 Figo also joining them in the pits, so is Juan, Guzman, and Gorlomi, who can see his, Guzman in particular, who can see his title chances slowly fading away now in the final stint for these drivers here today. It is still Matimar ahead, and he's still going into lap 22. Himpo also going through, and ST53 has just made that pit stop right in front of them. It's the only driver who's looking any sorts as potentially being lapped here. Jaruni fighting with Flix now on that undercut. Surely the two realise that they have the opportunity to maybe gap the guys in front, but Jaruni makes a mistake. Flix is through, and this is potentially net P1 here on this undercut. Flix through into what will be the race lead once the two drivers in front make their stops. But Jaruni definitely won't be having that. He could be on for a double race win this round of Challenger League here. X6 on the hards behind them in net P5 at the moment. And P5, perhaps net P4, P3 maybe? Depends on how those pit stops lay out for the two in front. Figo in P6, followed by Juan, Rams, Guzman, Gamer Goose, who is running on super old soft tyres. Gorlomi finding some trouble getting through him. He'll want to make quick work of the driver. He makes through on the inside, and no trouble there between him and Himpo has actually gone in. And Flix and Jaruni are running away into the sunset. That overcut has worked out amazingly for those two. Himpo, though, has the soft tyres now. Can he make a challenge onto those front two, potentially make this... this is definitely a chance, definitely a race he can win, especially if Girouni and Flix keep swobbling like that. The gap is just over a second now between those two. It's absolutely gettable for the VEO driver. Flix might have shoved Jeru off there, as actually Matty is in onto the soft tyre. We'll have to see where he comes out. He's behind the top two. He's actually ended up right in front of Himpo, so his overcut on the VEO driver was actually pretty worthwhile there, and he's going to have a lap fresher soft tyre for the rest of the race, and Matty probably in the box seat now to take the race win. We'll have to see how Girouni and Flix can manage on their tyres, but this squabbling is not helping things at all for those two, and Matty is already in striking distance. We've got a four-way fight for the lead with about 6 laps, well, not even 6 laps, about 7 laps to go now. Now that I see it, it might be a struggle for Himpo to make it to the end. He will have to go for 9 laps, I believe. Or am I mistaken? No, he'll be going for 8 laps, sorry. He'll be going for 8 and Matima will be going... No. Himpo is going for 9 and Matty's going for 8. Sorry for that little mix-up on my math there. Matty through into the lead. Himpo and Girouni find his trouble. And Flix is in that fight as well. But it looks like it's the perfect opportunity for Matima to run away with the race win here. Himpo in P2. Girouni and Flix will be holding onto that slipstream as best they can, hoping for any major mistake from the leader here to give them any chance to take the race win today. But Matima is looking clean. Girouni with a bit of a mistake on the exit there. He hits the grass a little bit. He's lost a bit of time there. Matty still running about 7/10 in front of Himpo. And his pace is looking quite strong with 5 laps now left to run. They're still running Girouni and Flix following in that order. Then it's X6 in P5, Figo in P6, and P6 will be more than enough to take the CL Championship come the end of the race. Guzman stuck in P9 in between the two Juan and Rams. And then it's Gorlomi holding on to that P10 position. Bunyo, it's James and Rusky fighting away. I think Bunyo has... No, they have equivalent hard tyre wear, so... It'll be a straight fight for this P11 position between these two drivers. Goose now in 13th ahead of Krunk. Bubbles and Eurus finding some trouble, but is Eurus going through ahead of Bubbles as he makes a bit of an error there. Eurus trying to make a move. He's got 2 Canadians to deal with on those medium tyres, so I'm not sure it'll be doable for him. We'll have to see. Bubbles in P16. Then it's Nakes, who was the only driver to go for 3 stops here. And he's used a bit of the hard, so it's a bit of a strategy blunder for the Australian here. Running in P17, then it's ST53, followed by Axperio, and right in front of them, actually, is a titanic battle for the lead with about 3 laps to go. Matima is away. He's gone. Absolutely running away with the race lead now. He's 1.5 seconds now in front of the chasing pack. Girouni and Flix have gotten ahead of him, but I'm not sure what's happened to the Finn here. Flix on the inside. Becomes the outside for Girouni to take advantage into the final corner here. Rakorman at turn 11 will make the difference come 2 laps from now. Flix and Girouni side by side into Dunlop. Flix has the better line. Girouni is just not given enough space there, but he's made better exit of the two. Flix and Himpo finding the wear terrible at the moment. Himpo just sliding into the grass everywhere. It's just not working out for him. Flix is still in P2. Himpo with the better exit speed might be able to make a move on the outside on that corner. Girouni with another mistake is not going to be helped at all with just a lap to go. Matty starts the final lap of the race, and it has been all over the place today. But he's going to be running away now. He's almost 3 seconds ahead of the next car in Flix, who's now being challenged by Himpo, finding that wear on the soft tyres actually detrimental here, and Girouni is going to have none of it. He wants that podium, and I'm not sure he's going to get it this moment. Flix might be in a brilliant position to take this P2. Himpo with a mistake. Girouni follows through. That is not going to be helpful for him at all, but it's going to be the pole on top. Matimar takes the race win here. It is Flix in P2, and Himpo will just edge Girouni to 3rd. X6 followed by Figo, who takes the championship with a round to spare. Figueroa, your Season 12 champion in Challenger League. 1 in 7th, followed by Guzman in 8th. Golomi will finish in P9. And it is Rusky just pipping Rams to the line there. in P10. Then it's Banyo, Urist, followed by Nakes, Kronk, Goose, and Bubbles. Axperion and ST53 making their way here. Might be another tight fight for this final finishing position, but it's going to be Axperion this time taking the honours of P18. What a race we had in store today, and it had everything. We had a crazy fight for the win. We had quite the different strategies on offer, and we have a new Challenger League World Champion. Matimar will take the honours today, but it is his teammate Figueroa taking the title with a round to spare. He is more than clear in terms of the points, and he will be very delighted with that after winning both CL and UL last week. Can't be any more happy than that. Flix and Himpo will accompany Matimar on the podium for the feature race today. Good races for the both of them, and Flix showing his pace. He may be a danger coming into the UL race later today. Drini in fourth as well. Excellent round for him. Of course, winning the sprint earlier. X6 with a solid showing in P5. Figueroa, as said earlier, our new champion, finishing in P6. Juan and Guziman, the two Nordic Blizzards, in 7th and 8th in that order, and a big gap to 9th and 10th. Golormi ahead of Rusky in that VPT fight for P9. Rams just picked at the end by Rusky, will have to settle for 11th, and it's Bunyuts James and Urist 12th and 13th respectively. Nakes on that 3-stop was able to make several overtakes at the end, got himself into P14, and it is Kronk and Goose, the two Canadian drivers. Bubbles in P17, also Canadian, I shouldn't have forgotten him. And it's Axperial and ST53 rounding the grid out. What a round of Challenger League we had today. And as much as the final round in Valencia won't have any implications for the driver's title, it will definitely have implications for the constructors and potentially any looming eyes on the UL grid. Some of those team principals will be looking for drivers to pick up. So, another chance for some drivers to make a claim and also maybe confirm a spot on both, not just the UL grid next season, but the Challenger League grid next season, as some drivers, especially from JL, continue to show their class. But that is all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in a week's time for the season finale. Take care.